I'm Nicole, and today I'm going to introduce you our Chinese contemporary artist Ai Weiwei. Ai Weiwei is active in sculpture, architecture, photography, political culture, and criticism. Let's begin with his own home story. His father Ai Qing is one of the famous Chinese patriotic poets, and earlier he studied in Paris in 1930s. When he came back to China, he became a member of a Communist Party. But in the 1957, you can see the picture, it's the anti-racist movement. Ai Qing was accused to racism. So his family was sent to Xinjiang, Shihezi. You can see the picture. It's on the northwest of the China, and also called the Gobi Desert, on the edge of the Gobi Desert. Until in the 1975, he can move back to Beijing, and also it's a turning point for Ai Weiwei. His education in 1978. He enrolled in the Beijing Film Academy. You can see the picture. It's now this university, and on the top side is the picture about some freshmen just enrolled this university in 1978. I searched for the internet and it said that Ai Weiwei in there maybe.
Oh, in the picture.
Yeah. And in the 1981, he decided to go to United States. His sole desire to experience the liberty of this country. So the New York City of the life was quite a shock for him. He likes to use his camera to take some photos. You can see these photos are exhibited in Ai Weiwei's photography show, which called the New York 10 Years. And there evolved some famous Chinese directors. On the top side is Fu Changwei and Chen Kaige and Feng Xiaogang. His artist style, when he in New York City, he usually go to the museum and galleries and taking some inspirations. His interest in the conceptual art, which influenced by the Andy Warhol and Michel Duchamp. Here's a picture. He went to gallery to saw exhibition about Andy Warhol. And another artist I think influenced him most is Michel Duchamp. Here's the work of him called The Fountain, and he's usually said that don't make too much art and useful is already out there. Here's a picture about he was looking at the Michel Duchamp's artworks. Let's talk about his artworks. In the 1993, Ai Weiwei went back to China because his father became ill, and he decided to stay in Beijing. He began to work to publish a series of books called Black Book, White Book, and Green Book. Here's a picture of involved in this books, and this woman's action was absolutely cannot accept it on that time. So these books were illegal in China during that time. And there are some works, sculpture works, and he used some Ming Dynasty furnitures. Here's a serious book. He just shut down porcelain, which made in the Han Dynasty. And he also painted some porcelains which made in the New Stone Age. And he did this is because he wanted to use this way to encourage people to think about the past with criticism. And this work is about the earthquake in 2008. This disaster made 10,000 people disappear, and caused almost 2,000 children died. And some of the school buildings collapsed, but the surrounding buildings remained standing. So that's convinced some people that there must be something wrong with in these buildings constructed. So Ai Weiwei was so angry about this truth. He wanted to find out the dice names. So he went to Sichuan and did some research. And the picture is about he found out the names and he put it on the wall of his studio. He also made a video called Nian in Chinese, and some people just read the dice names and try to memorize the dice. And this work is created with 9,000 school buys and covering the outside of the museum in Munich. Let's say his latest work called Sunflower Seeds, and we can see a video about it.
There's a volume knob right there.
At first, people would have impression those are real sunflower seeds because fake seeds, it takes them a while to adjust their mind. They would always say, "Oh, is that possible?" Then they would pick up a few. Some even want put in their mouths to try. I always think art is a tool to really set up new questions, to create a basic structure which can be open to possibilities is the most interesting part in my work.
This show exhibited in London.
And I want people who doesn't have to understand art to understand what I'm doing. So, yeah. Normally the porcelain production requires around 30 stages, and it cannot really escape. The sunflower seeds are made in a town called Jindezhen. It's about 1,000 kilometers from Beijing. The old time, the whole town is making porcelains for the emperor's court. It's for generations, people trying to refine a shape of a bowl or a vase. And those are very fixed language. We have been working there for maybe 5-6 years to trying to find out what is the possibility to employ this technique to modern contemporary language. Because the quantity, it takes involved 1,600 people and more in this town, so that means almost everybody knows somebody's making safflower seeds. Even the taxi drivers would talk about it, but nobody really understands. If you tell them just for exhibition, nobody understands why you have to accept this. Yeah, it's a very funny position. You realize people start telling you that, oh, he's the one making safflower seeds, and we really love your work, and can you give us more work? The actual production is very much like in the old time. You can have a group of people working together, people, different people taking different procedures. When it comes to the printing procedure, you need more people because every seed take every side take about 3 to 4 strokes. Skillful ones take 3 strokes, and some may take 4 or 5. It can be also bring home, because that is really the old tradition. People produce it at home. You can work for 1 hour, then you have to feed your child, then you have to cook for your husband, maybe go out to buy vegetables, then work for another half hour waiting for food to be cooked. It's really a good way to work.
发发子的人年龄最大的一个。
大姐多大年龄了？
老伴，60多岁耶。
哦，还好，比我大一点点。
大一点。
哦，50多了吗？工作了多少年了？
我啊，30多年，
哦，
神经病都做30多年。
才会啊。到过毛泽东吧？
毛泽东还在的时候我就参加工作了，没有画过。
哦，不是什么人都能画。
In the political area, you can see all the paintings always have sunflowers. Whenever Chairman Mao come out, there's sunflowers around him. That means Chairman Mao is the sun, and those all the ordinary people who is loyal to the party is the sunflowers. So sunflowers support the whole revolution, spiritually and material-wise. They're all nice people. So you feel, oh, maybe I have to make some more, or make some other kind of projects which can meet their need. I think the quantity we made for tape is already beyond imagination, and it's going to be some kind of myth for the history of this town.
process how they made this is. And I always said that there are tens, hundreds of the seeds in it. This number related to the production in China. You know, China is always considered as a factory. So that's all.